Om Sahana Vavatu
Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. If I want to drive to Los Angeles from Houston, I need first to know a little bit about Los Angeles, where I'm going. But more important is to know where I am, then I can figure out how to go where I want to go. Both are necessary. Information about the destination as well as the starting point. If I happen to be in Pomona, California, and I want to go to LA, then it's only 28 miles. So I can plan accordingly. If I want to start from Houston, where it is perhaps 1,500, 2,000 miles, I have to plan accordingly. Meditation is an inward journey. Too many of us get fascinated by the very word meditation or the mysticism surrounding meditation and want to sit down and, within quote, dive into meditation without really knowing much about the destination, nor even analyzing where I'm starting from. So let us first look at an average, typical individual's life. That's where we start. If you look at an average individual's life, in our ordinary life, what is it that relaxes us? Yesterday I was at tabla, I don't know what they call it, recital. And I gave this example because it was going in my mind about today's pravachan. Whenever we get into a plane, right, what do the steward or the stewardess generally tell us, when all the things are done? Now sit back, but keep the back and relax. Right? So in other words, everybody wants you and I to relax. And anybody you ask, right? Few years ago, the youngsters used to say, "What are you?" "I'm chilling out." Remember? Now that thing is gone out of vocabulary, or very few people use it. But I'm chilling out, etc. Or I am relaxing. Everybody wants to have a relaxed mind, meaning mind without agitation, mind without disturbance. And if you analyze anybody's life, in general I'm talking about, a typical individual's life, what is one thing that is there during all waking hours? Everything except relaxing, isn't it? So we are constantly striving to be relaxed. Now there are several different kind of people. There are individuals who come and mow our lawn, etc., who do manual work. They get very physically tired during daytime. Many of us, doctors, engineers, motel owners, we don't do that much physical work. But we do a lot of mental work. And that also exhausts us mentally. And on top of it, everybody in between, whether you are doing physical work or mental work, the thing that really, really drains us, keeps us away from relaxing, is what? I want my wife to behave in a certain way. I'm telling you what an average individual goes through in the time, right? My daughter-in-law just doesn't understand. I'm telling you, the problem in our house is all her. If it is your daughter, it is the son-in-law who is not up to par. Right? Sometimes it is the son, sometimes it is daughter. Some people may have everything very good at home, then my boss just doesn't get it. Or my colleagues. In other words, no matter where I'm, problems that weigh us down is what? In a nutshell, relationship problems. Whether it is at work, whether with family, father, mother, father-in-law, it doesn't matter. They are all with respect to a relationship that weighs us down. Please understand, this is the starting point. And I want to go where? Where mind is completely relaxed. So if this is where I am, then when is it that I'm relaxing? And we find that at night, when I'm in deep sleep, I'm completely relaxed. My muscles rejuvenate, my mind rejuvenates, so that next morning again, the second I get up, what happens? All those relationship thoughts, the thoughts at work, other things, or demands, they all start crowding the mind. Again, the lack or absence of relaxation starts until I get into deep sleep. Such an individual, majority of us never analyze. We go on, keeping on, and the only way we know relaxing is deep sleep, or at 6 o'clock come home, get a drink, sit down in front of television, or surf on the web, spend a couple of hours, get tired, dull, tamasic, and go to bed. And one day we die. But those among us who want to find out, is that all there is? And they start thinking. And one thing I want to tell right from the beginning, please understand. The entire population of the earth, every living being was not there when the earth separated from the sun, because it was very hot. The gases condensed, etc. And then slowly evolution started. Nobody knows exactly how, but suppose a man also came, but we all came from earth only. And unto earth alone, when we die, we will go. What does that prove to each one of us? Everyone, when we look at ourselves, one thing we know, I did not create the world. Anybody here? You did not create the world. Now tell me, if you did not create the world, are you responsible for the world? Certainly not, isn't it? If I bring 2 children in the world, I am responsible to see that I put them through school, college, 509, 529, whatever it is, all this. Why? I have brought them into the world. I will do my best. Right? Once you say, I do, then naturally you have to look after each other. But the world that I have not created, I am certainly not responsible. And yet, what are our problems? Everyone that I am related to who is not doing what I want them to change. Think of it. Have you created them? No, other than the 2 kids for whom you are responsible until 16, 18, you have not created any living being in the world. The Creator is responsible for their behavior. And yet, what bothers us more often than not, even when you try to meditate, the thoughts that crowd your mind, is these stresses which does not allow you and I to relax. I'll give you a couple of examples before we get into meditation. See, friends, it is understandable that when we meet, etc., we talk, so-and-so is this way, that way, general, just we have to kill time. But expect never ever to change another person. Because we all are raised with different values. We all are product of our environment. And we are different. Some individuals are value-oriented. Even though they have money, they will not spend because they don't see the value in it. They will rather hang on. There are others who are thing-oriented. I want to have it. Hey, but can you afford it? वो देखा जाएगा. Right now, I have a credit card. Let us get it. Now, the value-oriented person cannot stand the other guy. And the other guy, when he's value-oriented, he cannot stand this guy. Hey, conjuice, he's going to die with all this money. And the other one says, yes, listen, the conjuice will remain conjuice. Conjuice from the standpoint of the other guy. And the spender will remain a spender from the standpoint of this value-oriented individual. Each, if they expect the other to change, what will happen? Their mind will never be relaxed. I'm just giving one example. Right? If you are married, you know, right? You fell in love because you were playing tennis together. But there are so many facets to personality. There are no two individuals. I don't care when you meet them, how much they say, honey, can I get you this? Can I get you? That is all in public. In private, no two individuals' physical, emotional, and intellectual personalities can match all the time. A matured person is one who understands. Call it deficiency, pluses or minuses. It all depends on what side of the fence you are. Accept it. This is my lot. That individual has every right to live the way he or she wants, as much as I have every right. Remember, a ratha can only go forward to its destination when the wheels are parallel. A couple, a family, when they are at odds, whether the wheels are at this angle or as long as they are not parallel, the ratha will not reach destination. If you and I want to relax, the ratha of my mind and intellect must learn to drop all other things that happen because I'm not in control of it. Floods come, fire comes, things happen in world. That what is under our control, we can do. If you do not like people using guns and killing, write a letter to your congressman and senator. You can do it. But to get frustrated about it and angry and agitated does not help. So first, where are we? One must sit down quietly and see at the evening before going to bed. Hey, what are the things that really are bothering me? What are the things that really make me quiet? Don't condemn yourself. Don't congratulate yourself. Be neutral. Analyze it. This is the very first step I would do. And then learn to accept the world as is. Because if I do not, my mind will be only extrovert. So at this time, an average individual is nothing but extrovert because we have to work in the world, extrovert. I have to produce money, bring bread and milk home, so I have to be extrovert. I meet people, I drive cars, so extrovert is our life. And it is because of this extrovertedness, science, art, music, all have been developed because you and I are extrovert. In meditation, the rishis tell us, all effort of an individual is to bring the attention of mind and intellect, which is so used to be extrovert, to bring it, rein it, and bring it inward. And the minute we hear it and we examine our mind, the very first thought that comes to mind is what? I tell you, I've heard this from many. In those days, in Shankaracharya's life, there wasn't much stress and strain. It is easier, See, we always feel that life was much better. Or, Chinmaya, Tapavan Maharaj, it was very easy. If you have been to Uttarkasi and even lived there 2 weeks and if you are expected to fetch water from Mother Ganga to Gurudev's Kutya, you will realize how easy the life was. You and I just turn the faucet, thanda and garam pani comes. We always feel that their life was conducive to meditation. If you really look at it, you and I have more physical comfort, more quiet homes than even current day India. In India, if you want to meditate, you literally have to live where you are, because where you are, it is nothing but noise. But here, what do we have? Computer, television, all kinds of noise which you and I can control, but we don't want to. So where there is no noise, we create noise. There is no one luckier than every individual where you are. Please understand. So when I feel it is very difficult, always see many of us who came, the first generation of Indians, many never drove in India. Right? And the first time you start driving in America, it is especially if you are married and the wife doesn't know how to drive and she has to learn from husband. Some of you have done that. After 2-3 try, you decide that you teach my wife, I will teach your wife. Because you cannot get mad, isn't it? But when you get behind that wheel, think of it. I have to look in front. I have to look in the rearview mirror. I have to look at the right mirror, left mirror, what is behind me, and who is driving in this lane, who is driving in this lane, apply brake, accelerator, all these things. It seems merely impossible on the first day. Only 3 months after getting license, you see that person. What is it? Coke in one hand, telephone this way, and driving like this. Now it is so sahaj. But on the first day, whether it is learning swimming, driving a car, or if you never rode a bicycle, see, for a 6-year-old or 8-year-old, bicycle is easy. You tell them, hold it within a few days, because they have no fear. They know all my friends are doing. But if you are 37, born and raised in Bombay and never drove bicycle, and at 37, if you have to learn bicycle, it sounds like a very big task, isn't it? Because there is fear. Fear of what? What would others say? Then it becomes very difficult. In the same way, right now we are so ego-oriented. Nobody understands me. I want all this to change. Thus, we have created our own cocoon. And we are restless. And then say, turn within. It feels like it is impossible. But when a person like Swami Chinmaya comes and tells us, just think, you agree that we all have come from Mother Earth. Mother Earth is matter. Really, there are 3 tattvas. Prithvi, Jala, and Agni. Isn't it? Akash and Vayu are beyond Prithvi. But in Prithvi, there are these 3 tattvas. And these 3 tattva is what you and I are made up of. And then we keep breathing and we live in Akash. All 5 are inert. Your mind and intellect is inert. If it is inert and you are conscious, you are not there. So he says, when we talk about turning within, is nothing but to drop your mind and intellect, and that which remains sesh, baki, jo bacha hai, that mysterious power, that presence of life, because of which this Prithvi, Jal and Agni, meaning this physical body, is alive, conscious. That life principle you have to find and come to identify with, that I am a conscious being. So I am that life principle and not this mind and intellect. So the whole goal of meditation, remember, is starting from Houston, which is what? unrelaxed, agitated individual. The goal is to turn within and find out that very source of life, which enlivens, which is pulsating, because of which these three tattva are conscious and alive. And the teachers declared that, look, my guru told me, I felt it was impossible. Some people feel impossible for many years because they only listen. This is the biggest trouble of Jnana Marga. Because in Bhakti Marg, my teacher says, I will do it. In Jnana Marg, freedom is given to you. You think. Unfortunately, many get stuck where? In thinking alone and never putting it in practice. Remember, all the thing about how to swim, how to drive a car, how to cook, you can follow Jnana Marga. If you do not do Karma Yoga, can you be a good cook, a good swimmer? So in meditation, please understand, the practice is necessary. Very, very important, following Dharma and sitting down and practicing. So the teacher tells, look, when you practice and you come to realize, come to understand that very essence, the life principle in you, he says, then your life becomes nothing but sport. You are untouched, everything happens around you, but you are not impacted. Right now, you and I are being tossed around, relaxed, unrelaxed, relaxed, agitated. He says, you are relaxed. And when we see people like Swami Chinmayananji, we see them with so much work being accomplished, they are always relaxed. So the question is, I have to live a life whereby my current life I evaluate and I am not very extrovert because I want to be introvert. But please understand, the minute we say I have to be introvert and then I will realize, immediately the intellect jumps and thinks what? So then I will come to realize that state. Remember, it is here and now with you. Suppose you have watched, right now you see fires in western states and floods everywhere else. Every time you turn on TV, Europe, India, in United States. And in the night, you are lying in your bed, snoring away. Suddenly, the flood waters are rising. Brazos River is coming, meeting Oyster Creek, and all this, and the entire sugar land is underwater. Water is rising. First floor is underwater. You and your wife gathered everything, whatever was important, went to second floor. Second floor also slowly coming up. You went out on the roof. Water is coming up, water is coming up, water is coming up, and now you don't know what to do, and you wake up. Don't say tathastu, okay? And when you wake up, tell me, friends, when the water was rising, when the water covered your ground floor, second floor, when you came out on the roof and went at the highest possible point that you could go, and finally when water started coming there, your feet were getting wet, came up to the knee, and you woke up. In and through all that time, how far was the waker from the dreamer? The waker was very much there. Dreamer was completely forgetful of the waker, isn't it? So it is not something to be realized that I am dry and I am untouched by the flood. As long as I am dreaming, identified with the flood, I am wet and drowning. The minute I realize that I am a waker, the flood doesn't touch me. So, as long as I am extrovert, wanting to change the world of object, emotions and thoughts, and please understand, it is not just the work world or sansar. Ashrams, the life of swamis, they are all nothing but another sansar unless you get out of it. No matter where you go, all you need is 3 people. Isn't it? Sansar starts. So unless I turn my attention from 1 to 180 degrees, right? When I go to Galveston and I'm really enjoying, taken up by the infinite ocean, and I'm standing. It is 8 o'clock, getting slowly dark, but in summer it is not too bad. We have decided we'll all go, but fascinated standing in front of the ocean. And suddenly the wife or the son calls, "Daddy, let us go." The minute I hear, I turn my attention 180 degrees towards the car, and I start walking. If I keep looking at the ocean and am not aware of someone calling, so I have to turn within. So when the scriptures, the teachers tell us that you turn within, this is called, now I'm ready to seek and search the truth, that mysterious power within me, which I want to discover. Now friends, think of it. Swamiji gives this again and again. As long as these 2 words, seeking and searching, as long as I'm doing abhyas, I'm studying the scriptures, I'm trying to figure out what is the truth that everybody is talking about. What is it that young people talk, hey, I want to find myself. Hey, you are very much there. Right? Young people many times say, Dad, I want to take a year off from school or college. I want to find myself. Beta, you are living, I wish you were working full time. No, I want to find myself. What is it? When you say, I want to find myself, you are a seeker seeking. You know not what to do. But as I study the scriptures, as I listen to my teacher, my seeking becomes focused. Seeking is when I do not know exactly what I am looking for or where to look for, is called seeking. Once the teacher has explained the scriptures, once he has said exactly where to look, just as when, some of you women have purse, which is like a little carry-on Jadugar's dabba. Anything you ask, you go in and it's there. Isn't it? So many. And when it is big and so much is there, and when you have to find some little thing, and you ask, hey, what are you doing? I'm looking for it, I'm searching for it, right? I know it is in my purse, but there are so many things in my purse. But one thing I know, where it is in the purse. Then you are searching. But when I know not where to look for, then it is seeking. So when I have read the scriptures, when the teachers have told me that drop everything and turn within, now when I look within and not without, now I am searching, I am no longer seeking. Because I know it is in this purse where the life is. Purse meaning in the heart. Hey, this is where I have to look. And please remember, it is not a different place that you are looking for, only a different state of consciousness. I'm spending all this time, many of you know this, but we are starting from ABC. Remember, when I want to go to bed at night, I have no choice but to withdraw from the family room or living room where activities are going on. If I do not withdraw and I sit around, I will go on yawning, doing this, sometimes, but I will not be able to enjoy the deep sleep state. But when I withdraw from my family room or living room, I go to the bedroom, change my clothes, turn off the lights, and I lie down horizontally. In a few minutes, what happens? The waking state of consciousness slowly glides into deep sleep state of consciousness. When did it happen? When I deliberately withdrew from the waking state, meaning all the activities, and went. So you and I have to be careful, friends. During our waking hours, remember, meditation is not sleeping, but during our waking hours, be very alert with respect to quality of life. Am I following dharma as I understand? Because if one does not follow dharma, no matter how hard he tries, your mind will not allow you to be quiet in meditation, because you know deliberately you compromise with the value. And as soon as you become quiet, and if you are little sensitive, those things will come back to haunt you. So I must live a life of dharma. Deliberately reduce your extroverted life. It's not that you don't see friends, but the minute you are alone, drop and do not think about what was going on. Because it will go on forever. Whether it is work, friends, family, drop it. When I learn to do that, slowly I am ready to turn within. So it is a different state of consciousness. I am there right now, just as the waker is there during dream. But I must experience it. And this is where rishis have given us a lot of different exercises. And one of the first exercises that is given is remaining steady. Right? Mind and body are so interrelated. Every one of us have experienced that example that I gave you. Right? You are sleeping so well, snoring away, and suddenly, because you have seen on the news so many floods, now when the flood starts coming and the water is rising, what happens? The heart starts pumping a little faster, etc. Doesn't the body become nervous? Mind is thinking, oh, it is not real, but the effect is immediately on the body. And we all know when physical body is restless, when we are sick, etc., the immediate effect is on the mind, right? You say, I don't feel like doing it. Anything wrong? No, but just purti nahi hai, right? Something that you and I can do so easily, you say, aaj dimag chal nahi raha hai, right? Haven't we said? Why? Because physically I am not feeling well. Mind and body are very much related. When mind is quiet, deep sleep, body also gets relaxed. Mind is little agitated, body is not relaxed. So the teachers tell us, the very first step for one who is sincere is to, during daytime, be careful about how we live. Please understand, don't feel guilty for who you are. It is something like, my friend is starting from New York, I am starting from Houston, another one is starting from Pomona, all three wanting to go to LA. The guy in New York will have to drive a lot more. I have to drive little less. And my friend in Pomona, 28 miles, maybe 2 hours because it's LA. But I need not feel guilty that, I have to drive so much, or feel, I only have to drive that much, but my poor guy in New York, no. Everyone is where he is. I have to start where I am. So don't look down because you have jealousy, anger, hatred, lust, because you also have a lot of good qualities. But if I want to go to LA and I'm in Houston, this is where I start. But one thing is under my control. From today onwards, when I interact with the world, I will make every effort to follow dharma. And number 2, make every effort to learn to drop things. Gurudev used to love this word, and it takes years to find out how profound this word is. Most of our agitations in life is because we hold on to things. And the closer the relative, the worse it gets. Your boss, people that you work with, etc. Let people be who they are. I only am responsible for one individual. And that is me. And I must learn to drop. I'm not here to change others. My job is to meet my maker. Once that understanding comes very clearly, your I and I want drops down to strictly Vyavharik level. All you can do is try, but you are not worried about what happens. So these two things we make effort. Then the teacher says, learn to be physically quiet. Because mind and body are very related. So everyone turn the lights off, sit erect. Head, neck and back in one line, fingers interlocked, palms resting in the lap. Mind and body are related. So the very first exercise, keeping the goal in mind that I want to come within quote face to face with the enlivening power, the Chaitanya, the life in me that makes this matter vesture vibrate. And the first step is to quieten my mind. Left to me, it is so difficult to quieten the mind. Really speaking, when I observe, it appears impossible. If you have analyzed, when you go to some of the temples in South India, vast ground, and when you go into the temple, the height is high. The churches in Europe or the mosque, the very size is breathtaking. Makes the man realize how small he is here. The incense, the bell, the arti, the very murti, all this helps bring the mind from outside to within. But I do not have the luxury to go to such temples every day. But early in the morning, when the mind is already relatively relaxed, the rishis tell us, sit down with head, neck and back in one line. Those of you who are sitting on the chair, please, if possible, do not lean back on the chair, sole of the foot flat on the ground, and sit erect. For the next 10 minutes or so, other than the movement of the stomach because of breathing, as far as possible, do not move even a millimeter. Remember, mind and body are intertwined. My job right now is to relax my physical body so my mind also becomes quiet. I know some of you have heard this so many times, but be very alert. As I mentioned different parts of the organ, you you consciously go to every organ, focus your attention on the organ, because by taking your mind and focusing on the organ, the mind will turn away from the outside thoughts. The head. And be conscious. If any thought comes, tell the mind, not now, after the class. Let the mind mentally massage the head. The face. Consciously let the mind reach out to every part of the face. The neck area. The chest area. Until now, you were not aware of the beats, heart beating. Focus on the heart, the chest area. Feel the very beats. Abdomen and pelvic region. Upper and lower back. Bring the mind back if it is escaping. Right and left thigh. Right and left foot. Right and left shoulder. Right and left arm. From head to toe, you are completely relaxed. Mind is relatively quiet. Just be. For some of you, the mind became quiet, but within moments a thought rises, oh, mind is so quiet. Immediately turn the attention to the body. Just observe quickly the whole body together from head to toe and focus on the body. That my body is relaxed and face is so shant. And again, just be and let the mind be quiet. I want every one of you, those who would like to succeed in meditation, to at least practice this first step, minimum 2 times every day, if possible 3 times. Just quieten the body and let the mind be quiet. In a few seconds, the mind will again run into the world, again focus on the body. Enjoy the quiet mind. But mind you, quietude of the mind is not the length of quietude, but the depth of quietude. As we progress, you will begin to understand it more. Don't force yourself to sit for a long time. Instead, strive to bring a state where the mind is quiet even for a few moments, absolutely still. The very nature of a river is for the waters in the river to flow. Very nature of the mind is for thoughts to flow. Very nature of sugar is to be sweet. So to expect my mind to have no flow of thoughts is contrary to very dharma of mind. All I am trying to do in meditation is temporarily still the flow of thoughts to discover the substratum, the very life source that supports every thought. So do not be impatient with your mind. Mind is only doing its dharma. With my intellect, I can regulate the quantity, quality, and the direction of the thoughts. Again, mentally observe your body from head to toe. Remember, you are not moving even a millimeter. Just be. Nama Shivaya. Dhamma Shivaya. Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. So remember, make an effort to live a life of dharma. You and I cannot control what is happening around us. Accept it and drop it. I have to live a right life. I control nobody. I dare not control anybody. No, I don't even expect anybody to do things the way I want to. Because my goal is different. Thus, we again and again we think habits are difficult to conquer. But when we remind ourselves that what is my goal? I want to be relaxed. I want to turn within. Learn to drop and then try this exercise, as I said, early morning. I know many of you have to rush to work, but get up 20-30 minutes early. Because once the mind is agitated, it's very difficult. But early morning, you have not interacted with anybody, so it's much easier. And we'll advance one step at a time. Just remember, learn to hold your body perfectly still, whereby it does not move even a millimeter, other than the breathing. Mind will become quiet. For those who are not doing it every day, you will enjoy and say, oh, look, it is so quiet. Again, drop it. Focus on the body and enjoy the very silence, the quietude. And do not lengthen it. Because if you try, you are fighting against the nature of mind. All it is to discover who I am. Once you know, you don't have to again and again tell, hey, I am a man, I am a man. I know I am a man. So create the condition and enjoy. After a few minutes, get up. But then during waking hours, be very, very alert. Again, remember, none of us can control what our brother, sister, mother, father, our boss, traffic, airport delays. We cannot control that. We can only control ourselves as to how will I behave under such conditions. And you and I will get carried away. Don't worry. But the minute you are alone, remember, you and I cannot control whether Hillary will win or Trump. I see every now and then some people get so worked up. Hey, you can only control one vote. We live in democracy, live by democracy. Why get so worked up? See it, but drop it, right? And decide. So exercise, and we'll meet again next Sunday. But please, how many times?
3 times.
But minimum 2 times. Okay? Om Sarve Bhavantu Sarve Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.